Just sent 6 replies. Here's why. So the purpose of this video was because I was speaking to somebody on a consultation yesterday, and he reported that in some messages that he was testing, he was only getting about 6% response rate during the direct outreach. There's a number of different ways to look at this, so I really decided to take the time to look at them in case others were experiencing this issue, which I know from experience and know from talking to people that this is a very common kind of issue. That once you get over it, everything starts to speed up a little bit. So this video is designed to help you avoid wasting time sending messages that get ignored, so you can get more clients by consistently bringing in new leads and leveraging your time a little bit better. Okay, so who can benefit from this? Coaches who want to spend less time sending message, but gain more time talking to prospects. Because at the end of the day, number one goal is to talk to as many prospects who are qualified as possible. Next, someone who can benefit is coaches who want to send less outreach message, but get more consultations. And finally, coaches who want consistency in their outreach. So step one, identify if this is a problem. So, do you really want 100 active conversations going at the same time? At first glance, you might say, yes, you do, but you have to remember the goal of outreach, which is to get more clients. So, there's two ways to really look at this. If I get 3 responses and I get 1 client, okay, cool. I'm willing. Do I really care if my response rate is under 10%? So that means I had to send out 300 messages to get 3 responses to get 1 client. I'm okay with that. So again, we're looking backwards at the main goal: clients, and then response, and then how many things you have to send out. However, if I was to get 0 clients, 3 responses, that would be a problem. So it really depends. I didn't really ask him the question as to, for that specific message where he only had a 6% response rate, did any of those 3 people actually get on the phone with him? Because we were doing more of an overall strategy session around his business to get a more complete view of that. Okay, step 2. So specify your market. If your target market is everyone, you end up working with no one. So if your target market is a gender, for example, women, that might be a little bit too broad. I mean, for example, one person I always like to kind of reference to a specific market is a guy named Hunter Otis. He's doing about $20,000 per month helping individuals struggling with porn addiction. That's extremely tailored, extremely specific. Um, Another example of extremely specific niche would be um, plumbers who only work with like showers. I don't know. Or jewelry stores that only do engagement rings, or jewelry stores that only work with this particular stone type. Like some jewelry stores only work with rubies, something like that. That would be extremely specific. So specifying a niche allows you to craft one message, allows you to become an expert at their problems, and it allows you to write messages that are more focused and more relevant to a particular person. There's really nothing that's as annoying to someone you're reaching out to as you send a message that they view as either general or not relevant to them. So this really allows you to do that. So specifying your market continued. For our coaching clients, we use workflows and guides to cause the coaches to get more specific about who they serve and why the market will work with that coach. If you want more details about how we do this, you can just reach out to me either in the message center. If we're on Facebook, it's a PM. LinkedIn, it's just a message. YouTube comment section. In its simplest form, there are 7 main questions. If you have multiple target markets who you're thinking about specifying, you can just do these 7 main questions for each different market until you decide which one you want to target. So the 7 basic questions for each market. So 1, what is the market? 2, what is their current situation? 3, what is their desired situation? 4, what is it costing them to stay where they are? 5, what would it be worth for them to get their desired result? 6, oops, 6. What are most market participants doing to try and get to their desired situation? And how well is it working for them? And then 7, What are the market service providers, basically your collaborators or your competitors, depending on how you want to look at it, offering your market to bridge the gap to the desired situation? And how well is it working for the participants and service providers? Um, for number 7, for my niche specifically, the one thing that people are doing, which is not exactly working the best, is they're trying to do advertising, digital advertising. Which what happens to that is without a proof of concept, you can't really get a lot of consistency in your advertising, and you're just going to burn cash really quickly and get no results. But a lot of people don't really understand that when hiring a service provider. So a lot of my competition wants to start out with advertising, and then they end up not getting they end up not getting any results for their clients, and that is the main reason why. But nobody really takes that into account. It's not the advertising itself; it is at what point in the process are you that advertising will work. Advertising works extremely well when you have a very strong proof of concept. So that's just looking at question number 7. So what am I doing that's a little bit different than my competitors? It's the orders that we take you through. So we prepare your business to get you to a point where you have choices. If you never want to advertise when you work with us, you don't have to, because we're still getting you results even without that. So now step number 3. So you have to know all of their problems. One way you can do this is using calls that did not convert to a sale. Or calls that did convert into a sale. Those actually work even better. So in your consultations, if you have structured them correctly, they will reveal the major problems that your target market is facing. I've figured out a lot of my messages and a lot of my kind of niche selection, niche choice based on these consultation calls that I've done over the past few years. So your outreach message should be problem driven. You need to be specific on the market because the causes of these different problems are different. So if you're targeting all, like a specific gender, so all male entrepreneurs, you can do that eventually, but when you're either starting out or when you're trying to get your initial first 10 clients, right, you want to kind of niche down as specifically as you can possible. So, for example, if you are solving or trying to help with depression, what causes depression in one group of people might be a little bit different than what is causing depression or causing stress for another group. Um, it's hard to explain without like a specific thing. For example, in one of the businesses I used to run, it was an online retail store. So what was causing me trouble was the fact that my margins were not high enough to support all of the different employees and different initiatives that we were doing, which is a little bit different than if I was a life coach who has extremely high profit margins but extremely low sales. A little bit different. So what was causing me stress in the retail business was the fact that I was getting too many sales at too low of a profit margin versus for a coach who's just starting out, their problem would be they're not getting enough volume in terms of either consultations or in terms of actual clients from these sales call. So what causes them to stress out might be a little bit different. If you say, um, hey, so I feel like you need new clients or you need to make more sales. For one group of people, that may work extremely well. For another group of people, that may turn them off extremely quickly. So that's why you really need to be a little bit more specific on the market because depression is a symptom, it's not the root cause. If you know what causes your market to be depressed, you can use this in the message and you will get a lot better results and it will stop you from getting ignored as frequently as what you are now. I mean, you're inevitably going to be ignored no matter what you do. It may not be because the person's not interested. Sometimes they're just not on the internet. Sometimes they're on vacation. There's a cajillion things that could happen. But if you're only getting a 6% response rate, something's wrong. You should be aiming, if you're on LinkedIn, you should be aiming for between 20 and 40%. especially when you start going at scale. When I say at scale, I mean when you're doing like the platform maximums each day. For LinkedIn, it's around you should really a safe range is to go for 100 different connections each day. So if you're sending one message to every single person you connect with, which is not recommended, but you can do it if you really feel like you want to, or if your message is able to hit very, very well. So once you decide, that actually leads into our next one. So testing and improvement. You need to test at least two messages at one time. So two messages at one time. A test is when you send the message at least 100 times and you record your stats. You can measure the stats using Google Sheets. We actually provide you guys with a free tracking sheet. If you want a copy of that, you can actually comment below the video and say, I want the tracking sheet, or you can reach out to me in the messages, whichever platform this is on, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or a separate one that we're going to do in the future. So more information. Do you want us to teach you how to grow your business? So the price for this specific course that involves message coaching, sales coaching, attraction marketing, direct outreach, message training, market message fit, service creation. The cost for this course is $497, can be found on our website. This program specifically will teach you how to write messages that get responses. Two, it will teach you how to attract leads that come to you using different attraction marketing methods that we have. Three, it will show you how to gauge how serious a lead is before the call. And four, it will show you how to sell your package without a consultation. That is one thing that we've recently added to this program, and our clients are really liking it because it helps you leverage your time a little bit better. So if you're interested in learning more, you can always reach out to me either in the comment section, or you can message me privately, and then I can help you out and give you as much information as you need and answer any questions that you have. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you got some value out of this. If you can, please leave a comment to write what you liked about this video or what you would like to see in a future video. Okay, thanks. See you guys later. This is Bryce from InsightMarketingCo.com.